This evening we're having a performance from Aaron Larget-Caplan, who is a familiar face in our community. Aaron lived here in town for a number of years and is happy to come back and play here at our little soirees here at the Jacob Edwards Library. And this evening is no exception. We're delighted. We have a very interesting program. And the event is sponsored by the Southbridge Cultural Council, without whom we couldn't do any of these activities. And so it is really critical that if you know somebody in the Cultural Council, or if you are voting and you see anything about Cultural Council programs, this is how we can do things here in Southbridge, and we're very grateful. And it's an opportunity for artists and musicians and performers to really be able to hone their craft. They can specialize and maybe with grant funding and stuff like that. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Aaron Larget-Caplan to our event this evening.
For those who've seen my concerts, I often put a lot of contemporary music, John Cage, a little contemporary lullabies. This program's a bit different in that I'm celebrating some albums that I made over the last 3 years during COVID. I built a recording studio, and technically I think the fifth album since 2021 comes out in 2 weeks, and that is called Spanish Candy. So it's kind of the centerpiece of this program is going to be Spanish music, but there'll be a few pieces of mine from an album called Honey Cadence, which came out just over a year ago and has like 2.5 million streams. I mean, it's an insane amount of number. And then a Bach album that came out last September called God's Time. That's the music that's going to be played today. I'll give you little stories about each, but I thought I'll just jump in. So the first piece is called Granada. It is a serenade, originally for piano by Yitzhak Albeniz. And then the second piece is called España Cani, which is the music that would be Gypsy Spain, but it's the music that would be played during a bullfight in Spain. So these are two pieces arranged by me, Granada and España Cani. And if at any point you need to clap or say ole, I'm not going to hold it against you. piece Granada, for those of you who are movie people, Woody Allen's Vicky Cristina Barcelona. It is in that, and the second piece, that's in a lot of different movies, and you know, bulls will chase people around. The main reason for going into Spanish music, I was asked at the beginning of the concert what inspired me to play guitar. I was sitting in my high school Spanish class as a end of my sophomore year, just about 16 years old, and Andrés Segovia, they were showing a movie about Spain. And they had Alicia de la Rocha, an amazing pianist, Victoria de Los Angeles, singer, and Andrés Segovia. And they're in the Prado, and it's a black and white movie. And he played, which the Robbie Krieger of the Doors used the theme in their tune Spanish Caravan. And I was smitten is not the right word. I was struck, my heart burst into flames. My life had changed right there. So I stuck my electric guitar pick between my fingers and would start trying to figure it out. Saved up enough money to get a very cheap classical, and the rest is history. Here I am today. The next three pieces I'll tell you about. The first one, Sweet Nuance, these are written by me. In end of 2021, I was asked by a producer to do an album of my own music, and I said, ooh, I haven't done that before. Okay, world almost ended. If I say no to something like that, that would just be wrong. And so for 2 weeks, I wrote music, and I came up with about 28 minutes worth of music, and this is one of those pieces. I don't know what to say about it other than it's just one of my pieces. Sweet Nuance. The next work is called Honey Cadence. honey cadence. A honey cadence, there isn't an official, a cadence is a term in music that to signify an end of a phrase, and a plagal cadence would be like the amen, a perfect cadence, imperfect. There's no such thing as a honey cadence until I came along. No, I just really loved the ending on that chord, which is a seventh chord, and I just thought, oh, it's so sweet like honey. Honey cadence. So that's how worlds are created, people. Moving still. This is a piece I actually do have a story for. I sought out to create a piece of music that never changed. In Western music, we have a thing called progressions. Okay, guys, well, next time I expect some singing. But And so Bach is based on progressions, Beethoven, so on and so forth. That was a 1-4-5-4 progression. The blues. But there are many traditions that don't have harmony. And I've played some of that music, being mainly from India, but also some Japanese music and so on. And so I wanted to create a piece of music that used different aspects of sound to create a sense of dramatic arch. And so the guitar, you might have seen my hand move around. This is called timbre or color. It's the same pitch, but it changes character in a sense as it moves on how it's played. This is why an orchestra can all play the same pitch on paper, but it all sounds different. It separates. It's kind of like people. What a great, yeah. That's how I knew it was good. So moving still uses color and timbre, and there are two notes that go throughout the whole piece. So this is moving still. So it's moving, but it's not moving. It's still. I did just find out that those pieces, the whole album of 6 pieces, will be published for those of you who play guitar, or know people who play guitar, or want to learn to play guitar, should learn guitar. Those will be published in the coming months, probably 2 months, through the American Composers Alliance, which is very exciting. I'm very happy about that, and it'll be my first of my compositions. So if you would like to learn more about that, you can always sign up for my email list. I will not sell your email cheaply, and I won't bombard you either. Francisco Tárrega, I like to say, was kind of like the Henry Ford of the guitar without the bad stuff, I think. Tárrega really changed how we played guitar, and in the late 19th century, there were 2 schools. There was a classical school, which was actually Italian, because the Italians had much more open publishing, and so there was a multitude of music that was being published, where in Spain you needed a writ from the king. It was a much bigger hassle. So, but Spain had flamenco and the traditional folk music of southern Spain, and regional. And Tárrega, being from I think he's from Barcelona. No, maybe Madrid. He combined some of those techniques. So I'm going to play you 3 pieces. The first one is called Recuerdos de la Alhambra, Memories of the Alhambra. The second one, Prud'hon, which is an etude. He used a melody from a French pianist, Émile Prud'hon, and wrote a study, which I find very exciting. And then the third movement is called La Paloma, which is an arrangement of a song that was very popular in Europe, still is very popular. You might know the rhythm, which is an habanera, which is a Cuban rhythm that was used by Georges Bizet and Carmen. And so these are 3 pieces by Tárrega, featured on Spanish Candy. This next piece is the title track of my Bach album called Gottes Zeit ist die allerbeste Zeit. God's time is the very best time. And it comes from an early cantata. And it is a piece that I was given by a pianist, composer Seymour Bernstein. The next three pieces are three pieces by Bach that were originally etudes or studies that he would give to his sons to learn keyboard. I arranged these for the guitar. The first one is AABB in form, meaning the first section repeats and the second section repeats. The second one is the only two-voice fugue I really know of by Bach. And then the third one is just fast. Yeah. The last set of pieces has us returning to Spain. We're going to go to Mantilla de Feria, because I'm already in tune. That's it. A mantilla is the a headscarf, like a headscarf, but lace head covering that you would see women in southern Spain especially wear in public. And they would wear a comb, usually of bone, that would be very high, and then the mantilla would go down their hair and cover their hair. And the more intricate the mantilla meant the higher class you were, because you had more time to do that. And the piece itself is a flamenco work originally recorded, probably most famously recorded by Paco Peña and Paco de Lucia, two amazing flamenco players. And when Segovia was alive, you were either classical or flamenco. You could not do both. And they come from a different place and different intent. But some pieces really work well. And so this is one of those pieces that I thought, oh, I just love this. This is why I studied flamenco. So this is Mantilla de Feria and Sevilla. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming.